This is divorce.
Welcome to Divorce Court.
But he's not giving it to you.
This is a show where soon-to-be exes tell their stories to the judge, who give the ruling and settle all the usual and unusual divorce issues by the end of the episode.
Therein is the issue.
So this is actually the third incarnation of the show. There's been two others. This time it is starring Judge Star Jones. Sounds just like a judge name. Great name. Sounds like she could be RoboCop one day. And her job is to, you guessed it, settle divorces. Wow. But the case I wanted to look at today is called Marry Me and You'll Be My Only Fan. This is a case between DeeDee Russell and Antwain Henderson, and I just want to let this episode speak for itself.
Couples are asked all the time, where did you two meet? And we all swoon in awe when you hear, we were childhood sweethearts.
So you can already tell this court is all business. The set looks like an office version of Jeopardy, and there's a ton of virtual people in the background. I also just love how they have the defendant and plaintiff just standing in the background while she does this intro. Imagine how awkward that is for them. I just realized I forgot to move this, so this was in the shot, but I'm getting rid of it now. Say goodbye, everybody. But anyways, oh my gosh, just imagine sitting there. Imagine being the defendant and she's doing this intro and you just have to stand there like... All in all, this is pretty much everything a courtroom should be.
Ms. Russell, you are here today because you say you're tired of being a professional girlfriend. You say you've been waiting for a ring from Mr. Henderson for 12 years and have nothing.
So this is where things get a little bit wacky. Wacky crazy! Isn't the whole premise of this show to settle divorces? But this episode, DeeDee and Antwain are dating, and DeeDee wants to get married. That's the opposite of divorce. If DeeDee wins the case, does that mean they have to get married? Like, this guy Antwain doesn't want to marry her, so she brought him to court, and if he loses, he then has to marry her? Is that how this works? Because that's insane.
And Mr. Henderson, you say that you love Ms. Russell, but she needs to show you she's ready to be your wife. You claim you haven't proposed to Ms. Russell because you want to make sure the two of you are on the same page.
He wants them to be on the same page? What have they been talking about for the last 12 years of their relationship? How are they not on the same page? Well, I say that, but you just wait till later in the episode and it'll make sense. There's a whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of nonsense.
I'm just here because I'm tired of being a professional girlfriend for 12 years. I got 4 kids. I feel like if I'm gonna put up with everything, the betrayal, the extra stuff, the mom, I feel like I deserve a ring to deal with.
So let me get this straight. The only way she's gonna put up with bad behavior from him is if they get married. That's the only way. That'll make it all okay. I just rhymed like Dr. Seuss. Oh yeah! Like sure, he may be cheating, lying, staying up past his bedtime, but it'll all be okay if they get married. And they will have so much fun, build pillow forts, and I probably think they're gonna throw pots and pans at each other at some point. It's gonna be a blast.
Your Honor, we've been together for 12 years, on and off, hot and cold. You know, I just want certain requirements for her to meet. I've been on my job for like 3 years.
Look at how she's looking at him. She looks like that one meme. But also, what requirements is he talking about? He doesn't really sound like he's in a spot where he can request requirements. I don't think he is. Is one of his requirements that she lets him cheat on her? Because it sounds like it might be, but who knows? I sure don't.
Tell me how you met.
We went to high school together, and one day we had the attendance sheet, and I seen that his house phone number was on there, and I stole it off the attendance sheet, and I called him. And ever since then, we just hit it off.
Ah, yes, how all great relationships start. By stealing your partner's number off of an attendance sheet. It's how my great-grandparents met. Except I guess their phone number was scratched onto a rock or something. They didn't even have phones. A letter? They had to mail each other? What did they do? They had to see each other in person? Ew.
Your Honor, you know, like I said, it's been hot and cold. One minute she's waking up angry at the world. Next minute she's cool. I just want certain requirements. Like I said, I'm a hard-working man, Monday through Friday.
He's a hard-working man, Monday through Friday, but any day outside of that, he's just a man. A regular old man. But also, by the way he's describing her just sounds like how a normal person is. Not everyone's gonna wake up every day feeling all great and happy and, you know, going woo. No one's gonna feel that. Not every day. That's just not how it works. Unless you take lots of drugs. Then in that case, I'm sure it still doesn't work because you get used to it.
Okay, so talk to me about those certain things that you want to see.
Just work ethic, like.
Work? What you mean work ethic?
What
you mean work ethic? I
I've been
work.
at my job for 3
I
years.
hustle. You know that.
So I was with her until she said hustle. That can mean so many different things. A wide variety. It's a big net. Like, I could try to sell little baby gremlin dolls to everybody I see and call it a hustle, but nobody's gonna buy that. In that, I'm not making any money from that. I'm losing money because I keep buying these gremlin dolls and no one's buying them. Like, what's the big idea? But it doesn't stop me from doing it.
Even though you met when you were 15, things have changed over the course of these last few years.
Yeah, he a mama's boy.
So what does that mean when you say he's a mama's
Your
boy?
Honor, he's a mama's boy. Every little argument he want to do, he want to run to his mom. If we get in the car, he want to run to his mom. Like, for
that's
example,
my mother.
I don't care.
I don't care that she's your mom. I'm your mom now. She didn't say that, but I was reading between the lines. You could infer that that was what she was gonna say.
We was in the car. He wants to get out the car. I'm about to walk to my mom's. And okay, I'll pull up. I'm gonna pull up right to your mom's. I know where she stay. We ain't that far from her. He'll come home and still have that attitude. That's because his mom is feeding him the wrong energy, and I ain't got time for that.
Sounds like his mom is feeding him negative energy, bad stuff, the bad energy, the kind of energy you get when you wake up in the middle of the night and have to use the bathroom. Terrible, terrible energy.
If you trying to get in between the man and his mama, you gonna lose every time.
His mom got somebody to prank call me. I'm in the bed, just got cut open, having her 2-year-old. She's prank calling, saying that the baby was somebody else's.
Honestly, that doesn't really sound like a prank call. Sounds just like a not prank call. Sounds more like a, not very nice phone call. You feel me? Are we on the same wavelengths here? Am I just saying stuff to say stuff? Yes.
Words that are sage advice that you cannot get in between a man and his mom. At some point, you gotta check your mama. That's just the way that works also. Right. At some point, you have to say to your mother...
That lady is just clapping with approval in the background. She is all for what Judge Starr is saying. She is for it. And I guess on these screens, they just leave them unmuted because you can hear them. So do they just leave them unmuted the whole time? Because I feel like that's kind of playing a dangerous game if they do. Or do they only unmute them when they're clapping or something? I don't know. It seems like they're playing a dangerous game. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That is so good.
So, Mr. Henderson, is your mother a problem?
No, she's not a problem. Actually, she's my witness.
See, Antwain, I feel like you might possibly be supporting the claim that you're a mama's boy by bringing your mom in as the witness. Also, why is she the witness? I don't know too much about court, but that has to be some sort of conflict of interest or something. Like that, there has to be some sort of law against that. That's like if I punch somebody next to my best friend and use my best friend as a character witness, he might say that I didn't do anything. I don't know. Or maybe he feels kind of savage and he's like, he totally did punch him. I don't know if what I said made sense, but hopefully it did, and hopefully you found the moral in that story.
Oh.
Call her right now.
Call her.
Okay, so you know what? I like a man that says, let's just get to the bottom line.
The bottom of it.
I really like the description of DeeDee on the right. It says she is tired of her boyfriend's meddling mother, and if he doesn't propose, it's over. There is so much going on here. Because isn't the whole issue that he hasn't been proposing, and it is not over? You brought him to divorce court to get married, so I guess this is the conclusion. But on this description, first off, it's saying DeeDee is sick of Antwain's mother, but then the next line says she wants him to propose. I can't be the only one who sees the disaster in that. Like, DeeDee actively does not like Antwain's mother, but wants to get married to him, and ultimately, by extension, his mom. I don't think that is a recipe for success. Also, this is supposed to be divorce court. I still don't know how this case made it here. This is not a divorce.
Let's try to reach Letitia Tish Deal,
Yes, ma'am.
who is the defendant's mom. Ms. Deal, are you available to chat at this point?
And now they call the mom. Lovely. But I just love that question that Judge Starr asked. She said, are you available to chat at this point? What else would she be doing? I mean, she's already on the phone in the middle of a court case on TV. Like, I hope she's ready. That would be really awkward if she wasn't. Like, imagine she says that, are you available to chat? And then the mom's like, actually, no, I need to go shopping and get some groceries, like kale. I just figured maybe that's what she got. I don't know.
I am Antwain's mother.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Deal, Ms. Russell testified that you are the reason, one of the reasons that your son has not proposed.
Of course she's gonna deny it. Why would she not deny that? She's not just gonna come out and say, I'm the mastermind, I'm pulling the strings, I'm Antwain's mother, ruler of the world.
My son has been with Miss Russell since they were teenagers, and they've been going back and forth for years.
So you said they've been going back and forth for years. But Miss Russell makes a very cogent point.
Cogent point. That is a big word to use. Why would she use that? There's other words she could have used to get the same point across. Couldn't she have just said, she makes a good point? It's less syllables and it gets the same point across. See, this is what happens when I use my brain. I start thinking outside of the box.
If you're having problems with your loved one, people's allowed to go to their mom and talk to their mom about it.
But how does that manifest itself in the relationship between Ms. Russell and Mr. Henderson? In other words, how are you able to interact with her?
Right, we don't interact. That's why she quiet. She know what's up because we don't do this. We know
Girl,
she.
you sit in the car.
It don't matter. I can sit in the
Ms.
car.
Deal, how
Let
do
your
you
mom
all
talk.
interact?
I feel like DeeDee is sort of missing the point here. She says that her and Antwain's mom don't talk, and then Antwain says it's because she sits in a car outside of his mother's house, and then she's like, that doesn't matter. It kind of does matter. That is kind of the whole point. That is literally the point. That is the point. But she's like, that doesn't matter. If I sit in my car and I don't go inside and just sit outside doing whatever, being all creepy, that doesn't matter. That's not the point. It is the point. Say it with me. That's the point.
So you find her to be disrespectful to you?
Yes, I do.
But I can't be disrespectful. If I don't come in and speak to you, I don't come in and speak to you. I can stay in my car.
Okay, yeah, but DeeDee, that is disrespectful. That is very disrespectful. You're just sitting outside of her house with all these bad vibes, all this negative energy, just throwing all this bad juju out into the air. That is disrespect if I've ever seen disrespect. Or smelt it. It smells like disrespect. Or heard it. Or tasted it. I don't know if I want to use that one though, but that's just another sense. Or touched it. If I touched disrespect. This is getting so off the rails.
Okay,
I know
Ms.
how it's
Russell,
gonna go.
how do you expect to be somebody's wife if you don't speak to their mama?
Because they mama need to respect me too.
DeeDee needs to get over herself, all the way over herself. You don't just earn respect by sitting outside someone's house and not going inside and talking to them. You just don't.
I ain't about to deal. She gonna respect me. Respect is earned, not given.
Yep, exactly, DeeDee. That is exactly the point. I don't know how she can't see how a lot of what she's saying doesn't apply to her. Like, she's saying a lot about other people, but it also applies to her.
So, Ms. Deal, I'm gonna just ask you, do you think your son should propose to Ms. Russell?
No.
She just straight up said no. Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I am a little bit, I guess. I thought maybe she'd be like, not in this current state. Maybe if they can work things out and mature a little bit, then I can see them getting married, but not at this current point. But she didn't say that. She said no.
Mr. Henderson, your mother and Ms. Russell are never going to get along. You know that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So at least we know that we have gotten there.
And then it's another issue. 2019 was the worst year for us.
2019?
Yes, when he had a baby. His mom had something to do with it, yes.
I know what she's trying to say, but she needs to be careful with the order of those words. It's a very sketchy order she said them in. She said in 2019, Antwain had a baby, and she knows his mother had something to do with it. Let's just slow down a little bit and rethink that. I know what she was trying to say, but it just was in a weird order, a questionable order. Actually, that was an illegal order you just put it in. Like, the law hears that, and then you're under arrest for grossness. Unless that is really what she meant, which in that case, then this takes a whole nother turn, and I am so scared.
Yeah.
Wait. He had a baby?
He had a baby on me. Yeah.
Your Honor, I
Wait,
was-
With the ex. How I found out about the baby was
I love these courtroom shows so much. I just do. They're so magical. You can just hear everybody's reactions, and it's just anything goes. No bars hold? No holds barred. That's what I was trying to say. There are no holded bars. All bars are open. Happy hour is now. But like, everybody's just gasping and astounded, and they're clapping and everything, and you can just hear it all. And I love it. I'm not quite sure if that's even allowed in a courtroom, but in this courtroom, in divorce court, it is allowed. And I am for it.
all good. We was out doing family outings, all of that. I went through his phone when he went in the store. Go in there, find out he got a baby. The ex is 3 months pregnant.
That is a whole roller coaster, a full roller coaster. It's a space mountain. And this is what I'm still confused about. This is what is still itching in my brain. Why does she even want to get married to him? It just sounds like they shouldn't be married. In my humble opinion, that is what it sounds like. Like, he's cheated on her and he had a whole nother baby, but she still wants to get married. Like, why don't you go find someone who won't do that stuff? Go find a nice guy who won't have another baby with someone else. I don't feel like that's asking for too much. I feel like that is a reasonable request. But no, she had to drag him to divorce court to get married.
Ooh, Mr. Henderson, tag, you're it.
I didn't choose. I was drunk at the time, Your Honor. It was my birthday.
It's always that story.
I was drunk.
It's always that story, she said. That leads me to believe that this is very common. Like, it's a common event. It's a reoccurring charge. And it still makes no sense. Why do they want to get married? I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on here. This is wild.
You don't happen to sleep with somebody that's not your woman. That's just not how.
Right, tell her the truth.
That's just not how it works, bruh.
Your Honor,
Did the judge just say bruh? Is that allowed in court? Can you say that? I hereby sentence you to bruh. I feel like that is not a legal term.
like I said,
Still
we
took
hot
him
and
back.
cold.
That's what wives do.
seen her-
Wait 1 second,
I seen her
ma'am.
doing her
I just love that the people in back are just doing whatever at this point. They're just clapping, they're laughing, they're cheering, they're doing whatever. It's anything goes. It's just, they're letting them do whatever they want at this point.
taking pictures with, friends of mine in the past. He taking pictures with them. I see
That
that
ain't
she
your
moved,
business.
she moved
No,
on.
no.
Well, it kind of sounds like it might be his business if you're trying to get married and you're dating and you're posting pics with his old friends that he is no longer friends with. Sounds like that maybe that is kind of sort of his business, somewhere in the realm of his business. Maybe just like contract work or something, I don't know. Not a W-9 though, maybe a 1099.
So in other words, you didn't do it by mistake. You did it on purpose because you said, she don't deserve my respect because she out here doing whatever she want to do, and so now I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Correct.
This really just sounds like a toxic relationship. That is what this sounds like.
I'm good. You know, I really am.
Right.
Did the cop just go ding ding? What? Who is this guy? He's a drama cop. He's just trying to cause drama. Ding ding. Okay, buddy, whatever you say. Officer ding ding.
Because any other girl would have
That's
left
what
him.
you want. You want to be
Everybody
married.
will
But
left.
You gotta meet my requirements. Your Honor, I work Monday through Friday.
And he worked
I've been at my
Monday
job
through
for 3
Friday.
years.
Okay.
Wait,
The
I know.
games is-
Wait, Mr. Henderson, I know good and doggone well you didn't say it's about stability.
And that's
when
not
you
all.
up here
That's not
sleeping
all.
with Lottie Dottie and everybody. I know you didn't just say it's about stability.
Divorce Court, the show where people get divorced.
I think she crazy.
And millions of people watch you get divorced. It's a win for everybody. But here's the thing. When I sat down, pulled up an episode, and started watching it, I was not expecting the first 10 seconds to immediately make me question this video.
Today on Divorce Court.
I love Dava. And I'm here today so the judge can explain to her the duties and values of being a good wife.
So let me get this straight here. You brought your wife to divorce court so you could have the judge explain to her the duties and values of being a good wife. I don't know why, but I feel like there's probably steps you could have taken before that to help your marriage. Steps to take before, bringing your wife to divorce court, like a marriage counselor or talking. And then we get to hear from his wife, Dava.
He has a real big problem with OCD. He always wants to clean the house.
Oh no, he wants to clean the house. What a horrible guy. I don't know about you, but I hate when people try to clean my house. Like, go do something productive with your time. I remember the last time somebody tried to clean my house, I shot them with a stern talking to and a gun with water in it. I thought this was enough context to get into the case, but I guess it's not because the producers included more clips of them absolutely roasting each other.
Dava's rude, she's selfish, and she's a social media junkie, and she spends too much money on miscellaneous things.
What does that even mean? Miscellaneous things. Is that just a fancy way of saying she buys things that he doesn't want her to buy? That could mean she bought literally anything. So I looked up a picture of miscellaneous items to give me a better idea of what she might have bought. Maybe she bought a toy truck, or a pizza cutter, possibly a light bulb, or even a chain link. By the way, who keeps a chain link in their junk drawer? Has there ever been a time where you're just doing something around the house and you're like,
Man, I wish I had a chain link.
and that was my impression of a fence maker. But before we get into the case, we have to hear one more thing from Dava. And truly, I cannot believe what I'm about to hear.
I want the judge to give us a clear understanding on our relationship problems, and I want everything to be resolved so we could be happy like we used to be.
If their ultimate goal is happiness, then why are they going to court? Divorce court. I feel like this isn't something you do and then just forget about it for the rest of your life. Like maybe you could go a couple of years down the line without mentioning it, but it's gonna come back up at some point. Hey honey? Yes dear? I think our son broke his arm. Could you call 911? Oh, just like you called divorce court on me? What? We don't have time for this. Our son is literally laying on the ground writhing in pain. I had to step over him to get water earlier. It was kind of inconvenient. Not as inconvenient as divorce court.
Please call 911.
So we've been introduced to our two parties here, and so far neither of them are really convincing me. But I have hope for them. Maybe one of their opening statements can convince us of who's right and who's wrong.
So I met Mr. Brown about 10 years ago. I was at the mall and he was in a car, a nice car with some big rims and some loud music. I seen him and I kind of waved him down and he approached me. We exchanged numbers.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on here. Did you guys see what I just saw? Dava said they met 10 years ago, but look at their ages. She's 25 and he's 30. That means when they met, she was 15 and he was 20. I'm just gonna let that sit in the air for a second. It stinks, doesn't it? While we're here though, I just want to take a moment to look at the people in the back. These people look like they want nothing to do with the show. They look tired, they look angry, and I think this guy needs glasses. Dava then talks about how she had a boyfriend when she met Patrick. Then they started messing around, which is ironic for how clean Patrick is. But then one thing led to another and they got married. And now she expresses her grievances. And make sure you get a notepad ready because there's a lot.
So our marriage has been good, but lately we've been having some issues. He's always trying to go to the club with his friends that are single. You know, he says he'll be home at 12 a.m. He comes home at 3 or 4 a.m. He lies to me. I've caught him talking to women on Facebook that he says he met in 9th grade and they were his friends from... Excuse me.
She really just hit him with the excuse me. But besides that, I can see why she's frustrated. Patrick tells her he'll be home at 12 a.m. Then he gets home at 3 or 4 a.m. But let me defend Patrick here for a moment. Let me present a defense case for him. What if the reason he gets home late is because he went to Waffle House with the boys? Those late night Waffle House meals they hit different. She also mentions him talking to women on Facebook, which I don't think the Waffle House defense can hold up against that. You're on your own, Patrick. And when Dava explained who she really is, that's when I knew the case was over.
So I just caught him in several lies. He deletes Facebook messages, but I am a private investigator, and they go to the archive messages. They don't actually delete.
She's literally Batman. There's no hiding evidence from her because she will find it. Trying to hide your plastic plate in the trash after you're done eating? She'll find it. Trying to hide your clothes in the closet after you wash them? She'll find it. Trying to hide your miscellaneous items? I'm not sure if she'll find it because I still don't know what that means. But actually, Dava goes on for a while about her issues with Patrick. So much so that the judge has to cut Dava off to let Patrick speak, which is actually kind of embarrassing. Imagine you get invited to speak and then you literally get uninvited to speak while you're in the middle of speaking. Sounds like a normal Tuesday to me. But anyways, let's hear what Patrick has to say about this.
First of all, she's lazy, she's controlling. She thinks I'm doing everything with my friends. I can't even go out and have a drink. You know, it's a problem when I go have a drink. She wants to stay on the phone while I'm out with my friends drinking.
What a weird complaint to make. She's on her phone talking to friends while you're out drinking. Do you just expect her to sit on the couch and stare at the door until you come back? And then when she hears the door unlocking, she starts barking? Honey, I'm home. You want a treat?
You know, and then don't want to have no conversation. Just want to hold the phone.
Just wants to hold the phone.
Just hold the phone. I was trying to hear if girls...
I listen for women.
So I think I had a fundamental misunderstanding of what he was talking about a moment ago. And somehow I think the real case is a lot worse. By stay on the phone, he meant she calls him in the club and makes him just hold the phone up. They don't even talk. And Dava tries to explain it, but everything she says makes it sound worse. Her overall reason is she wants to make sure Patrick isn't cheating, but she doesn't have any actual evidence. And the judge is clearly picking up on this.
Have you ever caught him cheating?
He deleted a Facebook message.
I've deleted a number of them. I'm not cheating.
He deletes messages. His friends know that we're married. We've been married for years, for 4 years. And every time his friend who is in a relationship and has a child with this woman, he comes to my house and he's always like, what's up with your friends? Where's your homegirls at? So if he's asking me where my homegirls are at, and I know that you're in a relationship with your child's mother, what makes me think that he's not taking him to go talk to other women?
The judge says this, but I'm gonna say it because I want to talk. But how does he even defend himself against that? He has to defend himself based on the actions of somebody else? That's like if my friend ate a couch and then I have to defend that I'm not a couch eater. And I don't know if that's the best example, but the principle stands. And just to be clear, I have never eaten a couch. I have not, and I never have. It was an accident. But the judge asks Patrick a very valid question. How does he think she became so suspicious of his behavior?
I don't even know where to start at, first of all. I think she's crazy. I mean, just, I don't I don't even think that she crazy anymore. She delusional.
No.
Listen to what she's saying.
World's greatest defense right there. Patrick had the opportunity to bring some light to everything, and he just calls her crazy and then delusional, which I guess is a fair route to go down, especially after the whole holding the phone in the club thing. And then Patrick starts to talk about his issues with her addiction to social media.
I wake up in the morning, you know, usually you'll kiss your husband, hey, good morning, I love you, you know. She jumps on her phone. If I wake up first, I kiss her. You know, I don't get on my phone, I kiss her, you know, rub on or whatever.
Very interesting way of wording that. I rub on her or whatever. I don't even want to get into what that means. It probably means like back massages or something. But it's funny that he says that because I think that's actually a really big problem with a lot of people these days. They wake up and immediately get on social media. There's a whole video that could be made on things like that. But this channel is for important issues, like divorce court.
But it's because I just like looking on Facebook. Like,
But what are you
And
looking
what?
for? What are you doing? What are you
like
looking
they have this
for?
Facebook group with like mixed babies, and like I just like looking at all the cute babies with the green eyes and the blue eyes and the curly hair.
Guys, it's okay. She's on social media all the time because she's looking at pictures of babies. I don't know why Patrick thinks that's an issue. Does he hate babies? That's what it seems like. Seems like baby-hating behavior to me.
Like, okay, he gets mad because when we go out and get drinks, I always take a picture of my drinks. I want my
And you on
my
social media.
fans to
And
see.
you on social media.
See, that's
the whole
what's,
time.
No,
No.
that's what's wrong with you young people.
No.
That's what's wrong with you. This is a very interesting conversation. Dava has fans? That's cool, I guess. Or she thinks she does at least. I'm a fan. But anyways, I feel like the dynamic between the two is starting to make a lot of sense. Dava is too busy being an influencer and Patrick is too busy holding his phone up at the club. That is a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen it. And earlier, one of the issues that Dava mentions is that Patrick has OCD. So the judge asks her to explain that.
I think that he has a mental disorder. I think that he needs to be evaluated for that. He cleans up too much. He wants to, let's scrub the walls. It's 8 o'clock in the
Let's
morning.
scrub the
Like,
walls.
It's like-
Okay, yeah, that is kind of a lot. Patrick wakes up and thinks about cleaning. And by the way, the people in the back still look so disinterested. Like they really don't want to be there. Which to be fair, I don't know if I'd want to be there either. But then they show a picture of the apartment and it looks just like a normal apartment. Like a clean apartment. And Dava says that's too clean.
look at who does that? Like, look at the pantry.
What's wrong with that?
What do you mean, what's wrong with that?
I hired a woman to do that.
The
for
coin
me.
goes with the
Oh, man.
I did.
Yeah, Dava, you're losing me now. I like myself a clean cabinet. And the vibe I'm getting from this show is just back and forth. You think one person's at fault, and then they say something wild. And then you think the other person's at fault, and then they say something wild. It's like a game of ping pong, except we're the losers. And then they actually show us a picture of Dava's dirtiness.
What
He
is
waited
it?
until our daughter dirtied the room to take pictures.
What?
That's a lie. My
What?
baby did
That's
that.
her closet.
My daughter did that.
Yeah, that is a little messy. I don't know if cleaning was ever involved in that closet, but at least the zebra suitcase is looking good. If it was tipped over, I think I might have lost it. So we spend a whole lot of time talking about clubbing and cleaning, but there's another big issue we need to discuss. Patrick says Dava embarrasses him in public.
It scares me when we go out to drink. You know, we'll go to a bar where they cook, you know, and they have drinks. She'll order some food. If it's not how, like she went to Miami, you know, she travels a lot. So if she go to Miami and eat something and they, you know, they cook it good at a French restaurant, and then we go to Dallas and she get that same meal and this, you know, cola, well, this is not the way it's supposed to be cooked. It's supposed to be cooked at this temperature, and it's not how it's supposed to be. You need to take this back. Matter of fact, just bring, you know, they can't even take the meal back and warm it up. She asking for the manager.
Imagine if you did that at McDonald's. Like you ask for a Happy Meal and then you get it and you don't like it and then you tell them how they're supposed to make a Happy Meal. This is the wrong toy. Bring it back to the kitchen. Get a manager. I would be scared to go out in public with her too. But the absolute wildest thing is that at the end of the case, nobody wins.
You love each other. You're going to stay together. You know, keep her. You know, take her home. You know.
The judge is pretty much just like, oh, you two love each other, you'll figure it out, and then walks out. Like, imagine being too lazy to write a good ending for your show,